of the session, maybe.
Sure.
And we can move on to our next presentation by Serdar YILDIZ. Serdar, if you have a presentation, maybe you can share it with us.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I will share my presentation first. Sorry.
And if that's okay with you, I will remind you that you have 2 minutes left.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you.
Yes, now I'm sharing it.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see it. Maybe you can make it full screen if that's okay with you.
If it's no problem, this is better for me.
Yeah, okay, we can read it.
Okay.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon again. My name is Serdar YILDIZ from University, Faculty of Communication Sciences. Today I will present my paper entitled Keeping Silent as a Social Media Content Strategy During Disasters. The previous presentation was talking about more background of the social networks, I think, and I will talk about a little the more obvious, more visible part of it, the post of the brands on social media. So as you see, there is a word disaster. The disaster case here is the forest fires in Turkey, as many of you know, I think, that occurred in Turkey this summer at the end of July. The study briefly investigates how brands respond to that, what kind of content they posted on social media, what are the main strategies, or can we say the brands acted strategically? Actually, I think the title of the paper gives a clue about it, about the answer of these questions, because it says keeping silent as a content strategy. So let's have a look at it in detail. So what I mean by saying keeping silent as a strategy, as a content strategy on social media. Brands use social media to communicate with their target audiences continuously and, how can I say, regularly. What I mean here is that social media differs from many other media channels, especially differ from conventional media in terms of the way of communication and message delivery. Like any of us, I mean, as individual users, brands also post on social media continuously and regularly to keep the conversation, to keep the relationship with their target audiences. So why I am focusing on this part? Today, we classify digital media channels as paid, owned, and shared media according to their characteristics. And social media actually covers all of these features, but this study focuses on the use of social media as an owned media channel. I mean, this study investigates only the organic posts of the brands, not paid advertising on social media. So this study, its conceptual framework and the findings can be discussed in terms of social media management, for example, or content marketing, maybe we can say. Of course, brands as profit-seeking businesses generally post commercial content in line with their objectives. But besides that, besides these kind of commercial efforts, brands also respond to social issues by posting on social media. Natural or human-related disasters come to the fore among social issues that brands should not neglect, should not ignore, I think. And when we come to our research, as many of you know, I think, I have a quick look at it, and so almost all of the participants are in Turkey, from Turkey. As many of you know, in July and August 2021, this year, Turkey has suffered a series of forest fires. The fires that started in Antalya, Manavgat, spread over a wide geographical area in a short time and turned into a disaster. And also, different fires also started in other regions simultaneously, and the disaster lasted almost 10 days. We can say it was almost controlled by the 9th of August, after 10 days. So in this period, the fires became the main agenda of the country, as you all remember, I think, both in the news media and among social media users as well. Therefore, the brands could not remain unresponsive to this situation. So I wanted to make a research on what did they post? How do they respond to this situation? So when it comes to the methods, this study actually investigates the Instagram post of brands with content analysis methods, including the periods before, during, and after the fires. What I mean here, actually, as a pre-research, I observed that the most of the brands began to post about the fires on the 13th of, as you can see here. Can you see my, how to say it? I don't know what. I hope you see that here.
Yes.
So,
Yes, we
can you see, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I think you can see what I might point out here. Okay. So, I observed that most of the brands began to, I said, and the agenda began to change by the 10th day. I mean, by the 9th of August. So I identified the wildfire period as the days between 13th of July to 8th of August. And to make a meaningful comparison, I monitored the 10 days before and 10 days after these days to understand what was it before and during and also after the fire period. So the research covers the posts of top 50 brands that use social media successfully according to the Social Brands report provided by Boom Social. The report scores brands' social media performances in terms of several criteria, such as number of followers or fans, the changes of these numbers, user interactions they get, and so on. And it ranks the brands according to these scores. And I said the first 50 brands, but actually 6 of the accounts could not be regarded as brands. They were unsuitable for the research because they were the accounts of influencers or event listing pages and etc. So in total, the post of 44 brands were analyzed in this study. And every single post was a unit of analysis. For a period of 30 days, 1,248 posts were analyzed in total. The posts were coded under three main content categories. The first one is commercial content, I mean the promotional attempts or brand image making posts and etc. And post about the fires. What I mean here is wishing the fires to end or supporting the firefighting or donating seedlings, for instance, for recovering the forest. And there was the other category, the third category is the others. I mean, non-commercial, but not also about the fires. Let's say other social issues and so on. And now I think I can go on findings to use the time effectively. Before discussing about the content of the post in detail, I need to note that half of the brands did not post anything about the friends. It was quite surprising for me. While the other half shared posts about the disaster, such as I said before, wishing the fires to end, or as you see on the picture from a post of Mavi Jeans clothing company, donating seedlings for recovering the forest. The other part did not post anything about the fires. But I think we cannot say that all of those brands ignored the disaster totally, because during this period, some of them prefer to keep silent by not posting anything. So if you look at it in more detail, I think we can classify brands under three main categories. The first one is the normal ones. I call them as normal ones, or let's say the socially sensible brands, or the ones who follow the rules of social media, actually. Because, as I said in the beginning of my presentation, if there's a kind of social issue, a disaster here, you cannot ignore that. So 22 brands shared something about this. The half of these brands posted nothing else except of the fires. This was also quite interesting. And the other ones, the other half, goes on commercial communication as well, besides socially responsible posts, we can say. So we can say these brands says, we are all in this together, maybe. And the second one is the silent ones. I call them as silent ones. they posted nothing during the fires, nothing about the fires or nothing commercial and etc. I think this is similar to hiding the head in the sand, as you see on the picture. 15 brands were in this category. Actually, there was only one exception. Audi Turkey posted about the Olympic Games in line with its own branded content strategy. But for the others, the situation was same. So
you have about 2 minutes left.
Okay, I am going to finish it, I hope, in 2 or 3 minutes. And the other category, the third one, the ones that ignores. We can maybe call them as three monkeys, but these three monkeys are not the Gandhi's three wise monkeys mantra. These are, I hope all of you know, I think, in Turkish culture, we have an idiom, playing three monkeys to ignore the unwanted, undesirable things. So they never mind the fires and goes on commercial communication. This was the distinguishing feature of these brands. And actually, there is one more, but this is a quite interesting example. This is example of all of the three categories. I call them the firefighter. The Isonem, it's an unusual example because it produces chemical products to extinguish fires. So they both helped and promote, they both posted social messages by supporting the firefighting, and also they were promoting their products as well. So maybe we can say this brand or this kind of brands are trying to turn the crisis into an opportunity, or maybe we need to discuss, can we say this is a kind of real-time marketing on social media? And now the numbers, as you can see on the picture, on the slide, before, during, and these are only the numbers of the posts of the brands, before, during, and after the fire period. So what I want to draw your attention here is the dramatic decline in commercial posts during the fires. As you can see, there were no fire posts before the fires as expected, but during the period, we saw 43 posts about the fires. But to again use the time effectively, I think I only need to focus on this part of the presentation, only the dramatic decline on commercial posts during the fire period. And I also studied on the industry for the categories, and you can see only the commercial posts of the brands here. We can say without any exception, in all industries, in all categories, the brands prefer to keep silent on commercial posts, we can say, to summarize. So what we can say, several different brands use social media for several purposes. We can say promotional use of it, social marketing efforts, and also real-time marketing, as we see on the Isonem example. We can say different brands and different responses we saw, but cutting or reducing commercial content during the disasters was the main thing. So, and this was also true for all industries without an exception. So I think, to conclude, we can say keeping silent may be a common content strategy in terms of, in case of this kind of disasters. So to conclude again, I think we can say the brands adopted the principle that offer, don't say anything if you don't have better to say, maybe we can say. So thanks for listening. While ending my presentation, I also want to express my wishes to not to face this kind of disasters again, either in our country and anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Serdar, thank you for your kind words and